Day was a populist outsider who broke all the rules, beloved by the base, while the GOP establishment warned he'd be a disastrous nominee. Now many people see a mirror image of that script with Bernie Sanders. This outsider has built a populist movement. His supporters are passionate and quick to condemn the Democratic establishment. And after 2 caucuses and 1 primary, Sanders is the front runner after trailing Joe Biden for most of the campaign. He has momentum. But can Bernie win? That's the 270 electoral vote question. Now, the most ideologically extreme candidate is usually worst positioned to win over swing voters in swing states. Barry Goldwater and George McGovern are iconic, if dated, examples. Both lost in landslides. But what if this time it's different? As Peter Hamby argues in Vanity Fair, instead of asking if Sanders is unelectable, ask another question. What if Sanders is actually the most electable Democrat? Now, this may sound like magical thinking, but Hamby explains. In the age of Trump, hyperpartisanship, institutional distrust, and social media, Sanders could be examined as a candidate almost custom-built to go head-to-head with Trump. So let's dig into that. Now, Bernie is an authentic political celebrity. People know what he stands for. But there's plenty to suggest his views play better in a polarized primary than in a general election. Let's look at Democratic Party divisions. According to a 2019 Pew study, only 15% of Democrats identify as very liberal, 32% liberal, 38% moderate, and 14% is some flavor of conservative. Now let's zoom out to the overall American electorate. Just 27% of Americans now identify as Democrats, according to Gallup, 30% Republican, 42% independent. America remains a center-right nation, with 37% calling themselves conservative in 2019, 35% moderate, and 24% liberal. So any nominee is going to need to reach out beyond the base to win. Bernie's argument echoes Trump. He'll drive turnout by connecting with working-class voters who've been alienated by the establishment. It may be true, but the new voters predicted haven't materialized yet. And the label socialism, under which democratic socialism lives, is really not popular. Now, you could say Americans vote on authenticity, not ideology. Fair point. But the center-right center of gravity is tougher to argue against. Democrats need to understand why Reagan and Nixon won 49 state re-elections while Clinton and Obama had to fight for their second term. The Electoral College also seems to favor the GOP, with Trump and Bush 43 losing the popular vote. So running up margins in New York and California ain't enough. You can't write off Florida or ignore swing district Democrats warning against Sanders. But bottom line, could Bernie win? Sure, anything is possible. Donald Trump is an unpopular president despite a strong economy to date. Top-tier Democrats beat Trump by different margins in head-to-head polls like this. Same is true for key swing state polls in Pennsylvania and Michigan, better gauges of who might actually win the White House. So Bernie Sanders has built a movement. He has momentum. But there are rational reasons to think that nominating a Democratic socialist in a center-right country is a real risk that could reelect Donald Trump. And that's your reality check.